Hello, I'm Lorraine Jekyls, and welcome to the Free Insights podcast, where we explore the intersection between all things brand, marketing and insurance. In this first series, we'll be taking a deep dive into the insurance sector's talent crisis. I hope you enjoy this episode. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Free Insights. I'm excited to be joined today by an incredibly talented young professional. She is an international business graduate, the only person I've ever met to run the Hadrian's Wall, and also an Olympic athlete to boot. I'm really excited to be joined by Gabriella Eltham, who's an account handler at Miller Insurance Services. She's one of the next generation making waves in the insurance industry and is founder of the Young Professionals Academy at Miller. Welcome, Gabby.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Oh, great. It's great to have you with us today, Gabriella. So why don't we just start by you telling us a little bit about yourself and how you found your way into the insurance industry?
Thank you. So I currently work at Miller. I've been there for a year now in the cargo team. My insurance journey began way back at school. So I'm actually from an insurance family, much like most of the insurance world. So my dad works in it, my mum was also an insurance broker, my grandpa was an underwriter, so it's very much in the blood. But yeah, so the way I got into it was through school. We had a work experience 2-week thing that we all had to do in lower sixth form. And I chose to do mine in insurance. So I worked shadowing somebody for 2 weeks and I thought, actually, this is really quite enjoyable. This is good. Still wasn't too sure if I wanted it to be my career. So I went off to university, studied. At Loughborough, I did a placement year, which is where you do 2 years of study, 1 year in the big bad world of work, and then you go back and finish your degree in your final year. In that year, I used the contact that I made on my work experience and I did a whole year at this organisation and absolutely loved it. And I think that was when I caught the bug. So yeah, graduated from Loughborough and then joined Miller in the cargo team and haven't looked back since. Really enjoying it.
So with everything you've just said there, were you surprised about any of the findings in our report?
There were two really surprising things. First was that individuals don't think that insurance can provide ethical fulfillment. Like 30% of them thought that. I am in the cargo industry, which is very small compared to the massive scale of the industry. And I am working on projects that support wind farms being built and solar panel farms being built. And that's just such a tiny part of the sector. And that is really rewarding. You hear about everything that's going on in the world and actually you are making a difference. So many projects are put on pause or not working, and insurance is all part of this. So it's really important that we do our job properly in order to facilitate these projects going on. So that's one big thing that I was like, whoa, I can't believe that people don't understand the bigger picture here. And another one was that only 30% of people believe that there's that work-life balance and everyday fulfillment. I love my job. Yeah. As I was saying earlier, I think there's not enough exposure about the insurance industry. We're not investment banking with films being made about us, and we're not the law industry with loads of suits and all these programs being made. So it is hidden, but there's so much to tell. I'm really lucky. There is the hard work side of things, but that hard work is done with your peers, and I think it's such a relationship business that you don't really realise you're working half the time, because although people that you're doing business with are on the other side of the chain, they are your friends at the end of the day, so it makes life so much easier, and there is definitely that fulfillment and work-life balance.
Yeah. I think it's very much a close community. It is about relationships, and that's one of the things I love about it, is that you always bump into people you know.
Yeah.
And it's very much one of those industries where, you know, everybody does tend to get along with each other.
I think it is. It's made up of like-minded people, and everyone enjoys everyone's company most of the time.
Yeah. But thinking about that, then, do you think there's things that insurance organisations could do to make better use of social media or the way they market themselves?
Yeah, I think especially with young people, we use social media a lot. I'm sure everyone uses it every day in the people that we're trying to target to come into the industry. So I think we can definitely push more in things like LinkedIn, where people associate that looking for work with. Like lots of job opportunities are posted on LinkedIn. And that's definitely an area when people are looking for grad schemes or apprenticeship schemes or to find jobs, where they look and where they turn to. But I think another thing we could do is using like Instagram or TikTok, things that people use on the daily to do a day in the life of an insurance broker, a day in the life of an underwriter, a day in the life of somebody in marketing in an insurance firm, just to kind of get the different perspectives, and people love those. I mean, I really enjoy watching them. But then it kind of shows that work-life balance and the opportunities we get, and we get to travel, things that people don't really understand. I think, as I was saying earlier, there's no films made on being an insurance broker. So just those short snippets might be quite beneficial to educate about what insurance actually is. I think once people know, the floodgates will open and everyone will want to be in it. But I think it is this hidden gem at the moment.
And then thinking about that recruitment journey, what is that process like, and how do you think a recruitment process is a true reflection of the brand or the industry?
I think, having gone through a few interview processes, it does vary. I think that it is becoming a little bit too automated. You know, for some of these big organisations, understand that you can't go through every single one, and a automated kind of switch off at the beginning stages is okay. You can't go through every single person's CV, and it's difficult. However, further down the line, I don't think we should be doing interviews with a computer screen, especially in this industry. It's a very personable industry, as we said. And yeah, I think in order to gauge the right talent from business side as well, you've got to have those conversations. And for us, coming into the industry, you want to get to know who you're working for, and it's a two-way street. And I think some people will be put off by not having that interaction. So I think that is really important.
Because part of what you're connecting with when you're applying for a job is, you know, what is this business about?
Yeah.
You know, will I fit in here? Do we have the same sort of values?
I think especially as the insurance industry isn't, or hasn't been yet, publicised as much as it could be. So people going into these interviews are curious. You know, I work with a boy on my team. He's been there for 5 years now and he loves it. But he went into his interview and he said, I don't know what I'm applying for. You know, it was in the middle of COVID and he applied to everything. Wow. But they liked him as a person and they saw potential in him as a person. And he's absolutely thriving now and he's doing really, really well. So yeah, I think it's those little bits that you might miss out on the right people or might put people off because you're not using the right tactics to get people in. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think there's also the word of mouth. If the recruitment process is so strenuous and actually leaves you feeling negative about it, the first thing you do is tell all your friends, right?
Yeah. So. I mean, we'd all apply in the library at Loughborough, and I'd be like, oh, have you done this one yet? Have you done that one yet? And people would be like, oh, don't do it, it's so hard, you won't, you get declined straight away. Yeah. So yeah, definitely people talk and rumours get around.
So I mean, thinking about what makes a good graduate scheme or a good apprenticeship, what would you say are the key components of that?
Yeah, so I personally wasn't part of a graduate scheme. I think because I did my placement year, I didn't want to be part of a structured scheme, but that was just personal to me. I think people that haven't been part of the industry and this is their first in, I think they're perfect, and really a well-run scheme will produce really, really good people. I think the ones that have worked well from what my peers have said are the 2-year programmes for graduates that you do 6 months rotations. So as I said earlier, I'm a cargo broker, but there's so many different business units that you can be part of. And that's not just on the broking side, on the underwriting side as well. So I think having the exposure to different parts of the business is really important. There are some that are 3 years and you do 9-month rotations, but from what people have said, I think that's a little bit too long because you just get your teeth stuck in and you know what you're doing and then you move on to the next one, which could be quite difficult. And also you're kind of stuck in that structured scheme for 3 years, which is quite a long time to then go and kickstart your career after that. The apprenticeship schemes, I think, typically tend to be 18 months, and I think they're fantastic. Uni isn't for everyone, I completely understand that. I kind of went to buy some more time, I didn't know what I wanted to do and thought, that's what everyone's doing, go to uni. But I think had I known I wanted to go into insurance, I definitely would have done an apprenticeship scheme. You've just left school, you're 18 and you're in the big bad world of work, but they're really good, very supportive, and the structure, I think, helps you. They take you through your exams. I think some of them are rotational as well, so you get to move around different business units. And yeah, I think they're really, really, really useful, and it's a really good way to get people in. I think also, compared to other industries, everyone has a grad scheme, and as a grad myself, it was all apply to this grad scheme, apply to that grad scheme, rather than apply to the jobs. So I think if we're trying to target graduates, then that's a really good thing to have in place. Just because that's what we're kind of taught to do at uni as well. It's all what grad schemes have you applied for rather than what jobs have you applied for. So to get those kind of people in, it's great. But yeah, I think for school leavers as well, looking for jobs, really helpful. Yeah.
And I imagine the retention rates must be quite high as well, because...
Yeah, definitely. Especially the apprenticeship schemes. You've just joined the big bad world of work and you've been there 18 months, which actually isn't that long. Yeah. And you've built the team and you enjoying what you're doing. And I think, everyone I know that's at Miller anyway, they've all stayed. Yeah. Nobody's gone elsewhere. Yeah. And I don't think that's necessarily specific to Miller. I think it's more of the scheme kind of thing. Yeah. I think, massive retention rates. And I think it's because they're enjoyable, but educational at the same time. And I think going through joining an industry with a cohort in similar age also really helps. Because you get to talk about your struggles, what you're enjoying, what you're not enjoying so much all together. So yeah, it's good. I think they're really useful.
Yeah. And so is that one of the reasons that you founded the Young Professionals group at Miller?
Yeah, so I founded this Young Professionals group for anyone with anywhere between 0 years experience to kind of that seven years experience mark. I put it in place so that all these youngsters, there's not loads of us.
Not yet.
yes, there's not loads of us, and it is quite daunting, not knowing fellow peers of the same age, especially with that how many business units there are, which is great because you get to choose a job that is most suited to you. But you are all spread out, so I kind of set it up to create a safe space for us all to come together, compare notes, what we're enjoying, what we're not enjoying, and then also as an educational space, so that I can learn more about sports and entertainment or marine hull or different lines of business, because once you become expert at what you're doing, you kind of forget, oh, there is a wider picture here, which is really important further down the line when you'll get to that next stage of your career. So yeah, I set that up as a kind of young person's initiative to all come together. Yeah.
And in that community, what sort of activities take place?
So we actually had one yesterday.
Yeah.
I set up some fireside chats, so kind of similar to what we're doing now, except there's an audience of 40-ish, 50-ish people. And I just ask questions to these next gen members, so people with 10 plus years experience, so that they're still relatable, not all these grey haired lot. So that we can ask genuine questions, you know, when you were in my shoes 10 years ago, what do you wish you would have known? What mistakes did you make? When you make a mistake, what do we do? Just genuine questions that people would want to know the answers to. And yeah, really useful for us youngsters, I think, coming through, because they're our role models, really. And yeah, it gives them also a nice opportunity to kind of showcase what they're doing and the world of insurance. And you can build that community within your own organisation, which is so important as you go through your career. Yeah, definitely. I mean, everyone's kind of in this big growth phase at the moment, and hopefully we'll all grow up together. So by the time we're next gen members in 10 years' time, we'll be doing the same to other audiences.
So, based on your experience so far, what do you think that insurance businesses could be doing differently with their brands or the way they present themselves in the employment market?
I think branding isn't so much an issue. I think people have good brands, but I think the presence of the brands, I think we're not, although we're competing against each other with our branding within the insurance market, we haven't got that wider perspective of actually, you know, there's good talent over here in the accounting fields, and there's good talent over here in the design area. So I think, that wider perspective is really important, and branding is obviously helpful there, but I think kind of need to open our surroundings a bit more, and that,
it's an awareness piece, right? So it's about building awareness and kind of looking to other sectors, what are they doing, and realising that you're competing in the talent market against all these other sectors, not just the other businesses within your sector. So if there was one thing that you would say that insurance leaders who are concerned about this talent issue should be doing to connect with young people or raise awareness of their businesses, what would it be?
I think, the common theme amongst this conversation is invest in your marketing, because, you know, as business leaders, you're trying to grow your businesses, but in, 20, 30 years' time, there's not going to be enough talent to bring it through and continue that legacy, I guess. I think, as back into the report, it's really important to demonstrate that there is that fulfillment. People love that. Like, I love it. I love my job. There is that work-life balance, and there's a clear purpose in what we do as well. I think that's really important. We do make the world go round. Literally. You know, fourth largest contributor to GDP in the UK, which is really important and undersold, I think. I think main thing, invest in marketing, get people on the ground at schools, career fairs, get your talent in front of people, and yeah, the rest will follow suit.
Love it. Gabriella, thank you so much for taking time to speak with us today. That was really interesting, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you very much for your time.